Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Objection Sidebar. We have a great episode for y'all tonight. We are going to be recapping Perez versus Lively. That is still my Roman Empire I posted because I'm still thinking about it. Like, still thinking about the court notes, still thinking about the brief that was just filed. What's next? Like, it's something that stays on my mind all day. And we have DFJ joining us, who is our go-to for the Perez versus Lively saga. How are you doing,
Hi.
DFJ? She was MIA, going through some family stuff, and now she's back. So she kind of we wanted to do the stream because she felt bad that she's like on the day of the hearing. Something came up with her family, and she's like, "I didn't get to give you your flowers." So
Yeah, and
this is the
I felt so bad because I've been covering Perez and this whole like subpoena gate, specifically Perez though, this whole time. And then what was that? Everything feels like a blur. It was my grandfather who is basically like my father and my rock and the person I'm closest to my whole family. And he went into the hospital Tuesday and we thought he was going to come out, and then it ended up being a hospice situation. So I ended up not sleeping for like 3 days straight, and he's in heaven now, and that was really hard. But I'm here, I'm back, and I just feel bad, yeah, because I followed it the whole time. And then CJ, I have to give you your flowers, CJ. Amazing coverage. And I wish I could have been there to like support you and cheer you on after the second hearing you covered, because your notes again just slayed, and this is a great
and
distraction. So
bless your soul. That morning, you were dealing with, you were holding grandpa's hand and stuff, and you're like checking the weather updates for me, like, girl, it's going to be windy and rainy, like, just letting you know. And then take pens, which it's an inside joke because I kept thinking, like, DFJ keeps telling me about these pens, and these pens, I'm not going to run out of ink. And sure enough, at that second hearing, I did run out of ink and I needed another pen. And the second
I was
pen,
hounding CJ like about these stupid pens, and I was
yeah.
annoying her. She's like,
And the
"Shut up."
second pen, yeah, the second pen was, like, not warming up enough or something. It was, like, writing, but, like, not writing right. And then so luckily I had that third pen. So, shout out to DFJ for the pen idea, because otherwise I would have been penless. So, yeah, so that was really cool of her to, update me on the weather and stuff, and that's why I took that hat. So the hat
And
was
it's
courtesy
crazy.
of
Yeah,
DFJ warning me about the wind and the rain.
because like I'm kind of by the desert, and we had storms. Like that day was so bad because I had to drive to the hospital in it, and I was like, oh my God, CJ, I was like, I wonder if it's going to hit over there. So I sent that to you, and I feel a little. I told CJ, like, I was like, I feel a little rusty, because normally I like to be very thorough, I like extremely thorough, like read and reread and notes and more notes, and then I asked CJ a bunch of questions, and so this is, I'm not going to be as I feel like I could miss I not as well read for this as I wish, but I tried, and I'm gonna have to listen to your videos again, CJ, because this was just like on the first two listens, the notes that I got.
Yeah, and so this is a picture of me. The slides today are courtesy of DFJ, her beautiful pink slides. So thank you for that. And she said, giving CJ her flowers. And this is the first day of the hearing. It's a great picture screenshot that she took from one of the videos. And I really love this picture. It's me and Perez, and I got the big reporter microphone from the first hearing. So thank you, Synth Lord, for the super chat. If you think CJ is fireproof, and buy a super chat like me. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the love, and I got a lot of love the day of the hearing. Everyone's like, "Here's some, here's a super sticker for a coffee and all this stuff." And I was telling them, like, I'm not bougie. I don't do Starbucks. I do 7-Eleven black coffee. And somebody else sent like $10 and was like, "You could do plenty of 7-Eleven coffees with this." So that was really nice of y'all to do that. Yes, Christina says you made it into some new news clips walking out with Perez. I think it was the first hearing. Yeah, and it's funny because a lot of people in my real life don't know that I do this or that I was doing this or anything. And so the cat was out of the bag once I showed up on the news. Like, wait, was that you on the news? And then some people were like, "Are you a lawyer? Are you Perez's lawyer?" Which was really funny because I was like, "No, he doesn't have a lawyer." Hen said, yes, you were on the Vegas news. Yeah, it was really crazy. And the fact that people noticed. Thank you, Hens. You did great. Thank you.
And I
Um,
just love it because you like it, this was so last minute too. And it's not easy just to pick up and fly, you know, to fly to go
mhm.
to this hearing. And originally there was only supposed to be, we only thought it was one hearing. Like, so the fact that like then CJ coordinated it so that she could be there for the second hearing on Tuesday was just so cool. And I'm so proud of you. Um,
It
I
was
can't,
funny because I was trying to convince you to go. Remember,
I,
I was like, "You need to go. You need to go." And in the process of me convincing you, I ended up
yeah.
being like, "Why don't like, yeah, let me go." And yeah, it was just that video. I told Perez too. I was like, "You being out in nature and stuff is like, get your butt from behind the keyboard and go and do some like citizen journalism, like boots on the ground. You know,
Yeah.
be there for this historical moment because a lot of people we got to get CJ flights for all the hearings now. I want to go to the I was telling Nico too. Shout out to Nico from BTS LV who was my camera guy. And I'm still getting compliments in my DMs for the production, the mic and everything and the sound quality and all that. So shout out to
You
you.
were so professional. It was like it was just like you came to life. Like suddenly you showed your face, and then you had the mic, and you had the
Yeah.
stand, and you had. It was
And he
like,
had all the equipment and he brought it all out. Shout out to Nico right here. I'm gonna ask him if I can share his personal Instagram because he does these really cool videos where he does like a puppet, like he has like a puppet, not like a puppet show, but it's like a guy puppet that he does voices for, and it's pretty comedic and stuff. But I'll have to ask him if I can share that. But if you guys want to support Nico, you guys can go to the at BTSLV
but
account, and that's he's the cinematographer. He does the editing and stuff for their red carpets. It's like a film and red carpet type of thing where they show up to film events and around Vegas.
but I agree with Hens. Like I think you should be at the New York trial
Yeah, I
for
told Nico, I was like, "You're gonna come, right? Because you're my equipment guy." So we were already talking about it. Thank you, Earthkeeper.
because I loved your notes. Like we're gonna show a clip that just like I don't know why, maybe because I'm just so delirious, tired, but just the way that you cover it and your notes you sent me, I was like, uh, I was just laughing so hard at the way you interpreted like how the judge was speaking to, and you always call her Meryl instead of her last name. You're like he's like Meryl, sit down.
Now sit down. And I love. I was on Ashley's stream too, and then she was telling me she's like, um, I'm not ever gonna see it any other way of how it happened other than, "Yo, Judge Lyman," because I was like, at the first hearing, I said, Judge, what is it, Bowler? Is that his last name?
uh,
Uh,
Bullware.
Bolware, yeah, Bolware. I was like, he hit up Judge Lyman and was like, "Yo, Judge Lyman," and she's like, "I can't unsee it now. It definitely happened that way." He definitely said, "Yo." But okay, so this is the part that we're gonna
So that
like.
so that's the only thing that will be important for you, Miss
I know.
Cabrency. So then he's like, I'm gonna give you homework. Because she was just like, I want to be a part of this, I want to be a part of this. He's like, all right, you want to be a part of this so bad? Let me give you homework. How about these search terms? So he goes, that's something you can do. You can suggest search terms. Like something that's already common. Like we already know the common ones would be something like Blake Lively. That's obvious. But you have experience in this stuff, and Mr. Hilton does not, he says. So you can come up with search terms. And this is the part where you know how this is the part how many terms is also litigation in itself. This is the part you guys remember when Perez said that this is going to be so long, like this could take months and months because this is there's search terms that have to be used.
So that was the part where DFJ was cracking up because I was like, she kept wanting to be like, well, can I see the privilege log? Can I do this? And he was like, no, no, no. And then he's like, you know what you can do? You can help with the search terms. And she thought it was hilarious because I'm like, you want some homework?
Yeah, you want to be involved so bad.
And I had to say, like, okay, some of this is my interpretation of it, but yeah, it was pretty much like that. There was a part at the after party where I was asking around what people thought about it, and the one girl was like, "Yeah, she just kept." Meryl kept going, but. Like it was almost like secondhand embarrassment because you were just like, "Oh, girl, like stop it, like read the room," because she was just getting shut down and shut down, and then her body, like looking at her body language too. So you could tell that she was just fighting for her life. Khaleesi said, I love the detailed notes. Yeah, I enjoy writing them. I wish that I could have been like writing and looking around more, because it was like having to do the dual, like writing down and then looking for expressions. Because one of the things that's noted here, that she noted, was Pocker twiddling his thumbs. I noticed he wasn't doing very much, like trying to help her. Like, I'm like, she's fighting for her life. Give her something, hand her a note or something. Like, help her
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. That
Yes,
was so funny.
Meryl was the one from New York. A lot of people kept
Mhm.
confusing her for Ezra Hudson, but no, it was Meryl Gavrensky. Oh no, Kenny. I hope everyone's okay. They're having a storm.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
so yeah, so this is some notes. This is what some of the little tidbits DFJ took away from the notes. Vilo, who's one of our supporters, took notes too. I haven't seen her around since. I know it was so funny because at the after party, she's like, I told myself I was coming here until we got justice, and now I guess I live here because there was really no. And today's episode is called Courtroom Victory, question mark, question mark. Because although it was sort of a win, later on, we're going to get into this brief that Perez filed. But later on, it's like, was it a win? Was it not a win? What's going to come next? Are we going to get a bigger win? We have Perez saying some surprises are coming. So we'll get into all that. But Viola was one of our supporters, which I thought was really cool that she said that I
And
inspired her.
if she hears this, I'd love to, hear her notes and or I don't know if she if she wants to share them or if she posted them somewhere. What's her ex? Do we know?
She's not on X, she's only on YouTube, and I haven't seen her around in any of the chats lately, so I don't know if she's just still on an extended vacation in Vegas, and enjoying that through the weekend. So we'll keep an eye out for her on YouTube and see if she's there. But there was also another citizen journalist there, a woman by the name of Liz, who's a civil rights attorney. She actually covered the case for Kirsty Flaw.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I met up with her, and she's like inspired to start a YouTube channel as well, with her notes and stuff, and a TikTok. So I mean, there was a lot of citizen journalists who were normally keyboard journalists, and came out for boots on the ground. So I thought that was really cool that me going out there inspired other people to go out there and make the drive and stuff. It was really sweet when Viola told me that. She's like, I was just sitting at home and I saw you out there for the first hearing, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to drive out there. So she sat next to me while we took notes, which was pretty cool.
I love that you inspired someone else to come. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was.
This was a good comment. Jane says, I am out of touch this week. Did anything new happen with Perez? We got you. I've been out of touch this week too. I played catch up mostly today.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna catch everybody up on what happened, and then I have a playlist that you guys can go to as well to catch up.
Yeah.
So we got you, Jane. Thank you. Wonder if Perez can compel this judge to make Lively's side give up the same stuff they're asking from him. That's interesting.
Well, why? What? But what would they have? Because they're saying that they don't have anything, right?
To make Lively's side, like to get Lively to give up info like that he needs, but he'd have to file like a cross complaint or something to do that, to get any type of discovery from her. But that is an interesting thought.
But like what, for example, can you give me an example of what he would want from her?
Dig into her life. I don't know, just randomly.
Well, no, I mean, because he's the one getting subpoenaed. So
who is she playing? Who is her PR people, talking to? And we already know James Vitushka allegedly. I had my banner. I was like, "Where's my banner?"
Oh yeah, I mean, she is talking to him, but no, I don't think
because Perez isn't being sued. So
yeah, exactly, because it's a subpoena on him. So this is just about the subpoena, and but that's why I was wondering, like, unless there was something, because she doesn't. That's the whole thing. That was crazy because there was something in your notes where you said he asked Meryl, like, have they come up with anything that shows Perez in the communications? And she says no. And then I think it's the motion to compel for Wayfarer that remember last week when the judge gave everything that like Lively could ever ask for, like in her motion to compel, except they gave a cutoff date of like February 2025, but basically whatever she wants. That when I looked up, that's due tomorrow. or sorry, not tomorrow, Sunday. It's due Monday, right? The 8th, September 8th. So like, if he's not in any of that stuff, like I find it very difficult to how they're justifying this stupid subpoena, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you noted here too that I also had written down that she kept saying we know who the sources are, because he was saying like this is different. I can't have you look at this privilege log, because she's like this is like privilege logs where there's attorney-client privilege or whatever, and we see it redacted or whatever, and he's like it's not the same because these are sources and you don't know those sources, whereas an attorney-client, you know the attorney and you know the client. And then she's like, no, but we do know the sources are Friedman and Wayfarer, and the judge clapped back super hard. He was like, no, you don't.
I love that of your note. I was like doing something because like I have all this family coming in town in addition to everything. So I was like cleaning, trying to listen. And I like stopped what I was doing and I ran over to my computer and like wrote down that note because I was like, that was so good. I'm telling you, CJ.
Like, how does she know what the sources are if she basically was like trying to insinuate that she had some kind of intel, and the only thing that they have is the tag interrogatories, as far as I know, and they're using like word salad type of thing, like where it said what does it say, like a testimony or something, and I'm like, wait, that sounds like it was
like under oath or something.
So we found out through these two hearings, in the second hearing, remember he was arguing Nevada Shield law, right? Perez Hilton in the first hearing and throughout all his briefs. Well, judge, the moment we went in there, basically decided on the briefs, I guess, but didn't give too many details. But he said federal law applies, and then the 3-prong test,
which me and you talked about that in our coverage. Was that was that last week? When did we do that?
That was the day before the hearing. That was Monday. I think
that was Monday.
Sunday or Monday, we did a show right before the hearing.
Yeah, you're right. I think it was Sunday. So we I was just going off your notes, and remember that was the crazy because I had done all this stuff on the Shield law, and then we were like, no, like he's saying he needs to argue federal. So, and then we talked about the 3-prong test and everything. So yeah, see, this is what I see. This order, this was from the motion to compel. It says, well, go ahead, you could do it.
Except as otherwise specified, such discovery shall be produced no later than September 8th. The clerk of court is respectfully directed to close the docket number 552. So this is Lyman's order. And what's funny was that when she filed that brief, Meryl, at the very, at 9 a.m., the day of the hearing, like right at the deadline, she basically said all discovery has closed. So we can't get this from anyone else, only Perez. But then when she got there, Perez was basically, in his brief, he argued that this compelling thing had happened or whatever, that the Judge Lyman had compelled Wayfarer. So then the judge was smart and saw through the word salad and stuff and was like, wait a second, what's the exact date that this closed and is, we heard that this was compelled. When are they compelled to do it by? And she was like, oh, maybe the 5th, maybe the 8th. I'm not sure of the date. And he's like, well, you need to be sure of the date and let me know. Because one of the prong tests is duplicative. Like, is it duplicative? Like, can you get it from somewhere else? And so I think this is where the judge is trying to cross his I's and his T's and saying, well, look, the deadline is not over yet. So you can potentially still be getting this from Wayfarer. So I think that's what he was trying to point out on that one. And then, okay, so this is the federal question case, the underlying claims.
Because someone just asked something, so I wanted to put that in there real quick to answer it. Who was it? Someone said, why are they doing not Nevada Shield law? And it's because the underlying claims, are federal causes of action. So that's why he has to, it triggers the federal privilege law. And that's what like CJ and I mean, we went over it and thoroughly in that Sunday stream, if you guys want to check it out. But that was one of the main arguments in Lively's opposition to the motion to quash, was like how federal law needs to be applied so that was the judge's order for the brief. Okay, so we're skipping ahead. Because
I was trying to find the federal law, the little hold on, I think it's over here.
Oh, this
one, yeah. So see, we were arguing whether and how privileges under the federal common law including but not limited to the qualified reporter privilege applied to this information. So we were already clocking that he was going to use federal law because he had mentioned be ready to argue this in your briefs.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he wanted them to argue federal common law in the briefs to make a decision whether federal law or state law would apply. But it seems like I'm going to skip ahead really quick here, but it seems like Perez's latest brief, which I linked in the description, he is asking for an explanation. So the latest brief that he filed was a motion for clarification.
Yeah, I have a slide with that. Yeah.
Yeah, when everybody left and everything, it's like we think we know what happened, and then I read my notes and thought I knew what happened, but then it was still kind of sketchy. And one of the things that he wanted clarification on, he wanted Mr. Lavandera respectfully requests that the court provide in writing the legal basis and reasoning. Oh wait, no, this is the disclosure. Wait, where is it? Where he says why federal law? Right here. For the court's determination that Nevada's absolute shield law does not apply in this proceeding, no explanation was offered at the hearing on September 2nd.
I don't think that they said no Nevada shield law, like it will be weighed in, but because of this case is like a federal case, and it just triggers that federal, whatever I put on there, the federal privilege law first, and that is most of Lively's arguments in her opposition to the motion to quash. And so he's trying to tell, and we said this the last time, he was trying to tell Perez, like, all your arguments need to be geared towards, explaining, right, yeah, about the federal.
This is where it says that the parties provide supplemental briefing regarding whether and how privileges under the federal common law included but not limited to the qualified reporter privilege applied to this information. So he was already doing that. But when we were in court, Perez tried to argue that California law was applicable in New York, that she had not gone with federal law. And so he was wondering, and he was like, no. I've already made that decision, Mr. Hilton. Like, it's going to be federal law. Like, federal law is going to trump whatever state law. So,
and even with the federal law, they still have to weigh the state law. But it is important that they get to the, use the federal. Do you see the sentence above that, though, with the pink highlight?
It says, it is further ordered that the movement should come prepared with the list of materials covered by the subpoena that can be presented to the court for ex parte, which I kept saying parte, but I guess ex parte, in review. This list should describe the type, format, and volume of this information.
So notice both, it says list and list. It says with the list of materials, and then the list should describe. So this is what I'm saying, because some people think that this thing right here, what he was saying, these lists were the privilege log. And this was just a list that the judge want. This is my opinion. Sorry, I should say that. This is my opinion. The judge wanted this list to, as a scoping tool, just to see what exists and how burdensome it was versus, and then that's why, he was saying, because even though Perez brought a privilege list, it sounds like, or a privilege log, that's not what the judge had originally. He wanted to see if it's, at that point, just what does exist, to see what the next move was. And the next move is a privilege log. And that's more evidentiary and tying each item to the privilege claims. And then again, it goes back to the chart that CJ and I made, where it's that federal thing for every single one of the items in the subpoena that they're asking for.
So, but one of the explanations that I was like trying to overcome is the same thing that Perez was trying to ask. It's like, because for me, it's like looking at the privilege log, if he's asking for a forensic guy to go through the information and then a paralegal to help him with the information, that's now 3 eyeballs looking at sources that, normally, like, I don't know. To me, I guess I don't understand enough about law to figure out how he can look at the sources before, like, because he's claiming privilege, he doesn't want to give up the sources. So we're going to get into, let me get into this slide before we go.
With the privilege log, I don't even think they have to say this. It's like, it could,
because he said he wanted detailed names.
He said he wanted names.
That's according to Perez, which we'll get into his motion.
Oh, but we don't know because you weren't there. You couldn't take notes for that because it was just him and
Yeah,
the judge.
he was
So,
just him and the judge. And he
see,
drops some Easter eggs, but in the motion for the brief, he says, let me pull it up right here. He says, where is it? Right here, that he should submit a more detailed, including names, phone numbers, email addresses, dates, and descriptions of the communications. So he is asking in this clarification, he's like, respectfully compiling disclosure of these source identities or contact information at this preliminary stage would pierce the very privilege that the court has recognized under federal law. So that's what I was saying. I was like, well, the judge gets to take a peek, but nobody else does. But then when he was saying you need a forensic analyst or expert to extract it from the phone and a paralegal to help you compile it, then I'm like, well, that's 3 eyeballs. That goes beyond just the judge's eyeballs.
Okay, sorry to stop you. I just have a question.
Yeah.
But didn't he say just to get an estimate and not actually do the extraction? Because I think the thing is he wants to see the privilege log. And then I put this in the notes. Sorry, I'm like, my head's like not totally all there. But I think that way with I think they want to see the privilege log first before they do the extraction, right?
That makes sense.
And so that way, like each thing can be challenged. And then I think that this judge is being
No, but
very
the
thorough.
privilege log has to be compiled by the forensic expert. That's what he said. Oh, you mean he wants to see the estimates first?
He wants to see the estimates first, and he wants to see the actual the log, because it sounds like Perez called it a privilege log, which was just the list that the judge gave. That, because we saw it in the order, the minute order, where he said he just wants the list,
volume, type, and format.
Yeah, and the list for this. And that was, I think, him just to see what the scope was to determine, is this something that like does need to have a privilege log, or me and you, how we thought like there was gonna be nothing there, really. So maybe he would have just ordered it like there. Yeah.
Well, he must have seen something on that list where he basically was like, "Ooh, you're not going to be able to compile this," because he can't compile the privilege log without the forensic person, is what the judge said. He was like, because Merrill tried to say you can just screenshot, like he could just screenshot the like we don't have to go through all this. Can Mr. Hilton just screenshot, his communications and then just send them to us or whatever? And he was like, no. The judge shut it down and was like, no, I'm not going to make Perez do anything.
Okay, I see what Kristyna says.
Guy.
Kristyna says, I don't think so. They want the privilege to be made by the extraction and then a parallel. So, so first it does seem like he asked Perez to get the estimates for the extraction, but he didn't order him to get the extraction, because remember the Merrill's like, well, can we compare it to how much our extraction people cost or something? Didn't your notes?
Yeah, and he said no. He was like, no, because then your person would. So he's like, it's going to be difficult to navigate because technically Perez is going to be the client, but you're also the client because you're the one paying for it. So yeah, he did say that's the first step. Monday, the first step is the estimates. The estimates get to the judge. I think that the judge may even like pick one, but he said even the estimates might lead to litigation. I remember he said that. So I don't know. Yeah. He's like, these things can even lead to litigation. He said that, and even the arguments over which search terms to use.
So they're going to use the search terms and the extraction to make the privilege log and then go from there. So, okay, well,
he's like, even arguing over which search terms to use can be litigation. So he was basically saying kind of like, this is going to extend it to more briefs and more, things like that. And he said that he didn't foresee any future hearings as far as the estimates and stuff, because he's like, we can communicate with that through sealed sealed filings or whatever. We can communicate through the docket is basically what he said.
This is funny. Rosewild said, I bet Blake would subpoena the extraction person and probably the paralegal too.
After she subpoenaed the dang private investigators.
I know. Can you believe
not wrong. So this is where you broke down the federal qualified reporter's privilege. Federal courts recognize a qualified privilege for journalists, meaning reporters can resist subpoenas for sources of unpublished. So there's here's a 3-prong test, which I love the learning part about this, because it's like, are we all in our Elle Woods era now? Like, I know so much about shown versus shown or whatever.
I
don't
know.
pronounce it, but
Yeah, and remember when we had this on our slides on Sunday, I said, "Oh, I don't know if it's really that important to look at, but like, well, let's just go look at it anyways," But it turns out it was. And when I went back to look at Perez's briefing, when the judge asked what you just showed, that last order about like the federal privilege like applies and whatever, he did mention, shown versus shown, and like there's a 3-prong test, but he didn't use, in my opinion, I felt like he didn't use the arguments of why they apply here, to why he shouldn't have to produce anything and why he's protected. And I think that like that might, I don't know if that would have helped or not. I think the judge might have done what he did anyways. And I still honestly think the judge is on his side and trying to protect him because, Lively is going to just take this to the end. And I don't even know if you can appeal this, but she would probably try to appeal this.
Jennifer, you can do 2 times speed or just join us now. Here we're at.
Did you see they have 4 times?
Better.
They have 4 times speed now. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. I love 2 times. Like, I can't watch regular lives now because I'm just like so used to 2 times speed. But I try to because I like the live chats and stuff. But Missy says I haven't shut up about this. Lively didn't pass prong 2 or 3 though. Maybe she squeaks by prong 1. Like the fact that we know the 3-prong tests and everything. And I'm the same way, Missy. I just want to name drop this stuff like to random like store clerks and stuff like shown versus shown and the journalistic privileges and. So this is kind of like your interpretation of how you would answer them. So,
well, those were just examples, like for each one. I would probably go a lot more into detail, but I was just giving like examples.
So you say for the first one, which is relevance, you would say cases about SH and retaliatory stream campaign. Perez report or smear. Did I say stream? Sorry, smear.
Yeah, that's okay.
Perez was reporting in Blake's favor after the New York Times article hit piece. And then in evidence, tag communications from August 2024 were dissing Perez and showing they were not working with him. And then for number 2, necessity, compelling interest, false. Loudly withdrew all the other content creator subpoenas, which this is one that I was like the Candace Owens stuff. And even when he said Billy Bush was on that list and didn't get a subpoena, that was another good argument. Filed creator subpoenas who filed motion to quash, never responded to Megyn Kelly's. They're not serious. 107 content creators subpoenaed and a YouTube account with 1 subscriber. So definitely that argument I feel like is really strong.
It just says, because it says without it, the party cannot fairly proceed. And it's like, well, you just like anytime they fought back, you're like, oh, we don't need it. We don't need it. We don't need it. And then the one time like Perez fights back, now they're pursuing him. And it's clearly it's not the case. The case can go forward without him just fine. And they didn't even, they already know. TAG already said that they did not consider him a serious journalist back in August when their Lively's claiming this whole smear campaign began. So, and then their other discovery showed that they didn't even know how to get a hold of him back in February or January of this year. So it doesn't make sense. Like if he was working with them January of this year, even if like they did eventually in January figure out how to get a hold of him. She filed this case in December, of 2024. So
that's the thing is like she keeps moving the goalposts to fit her narrative, and when it doesn't, because one of the things that I clocked was the 3 different dates. It was like she's asking for in interrogatories. She was asking tag from June
I have that
forward.
I have that in the slides if you want to go to it.
Okay, let me just wrap up this last third one. Exhaustion and unavailability says the motion to compel granted just gave Lively access to all of the communications with alleged agents through February 2025, and she can get it from the parties.
And that comes in on Monday, coming Monday.
Yeah, and the thing with this, though, is that the judge did say that he had not put an end date when they were talking about February 2025. He's like, says who? I haven't put an end date on when this is compelled or whatever. So I thought that was a little Easter egg that I was like, what do you mean no end date? Like you're considering to present or like what?
Well, did someone say?
Someone mentioned February 2025. I think it was Merrill mentioned February 2025, and he's like, I have not
did an end date because maybe his end date is January. I mean, maybe
maybe it's before or when she filed in December. Okay, I didn't think that. So yeah, we went through this. This is a little chart that we had made with all the requests for productions. There's 7 of them. And
this was just showing like that was the original list that, I think he
he had
wanted to.
asked how quick, because that's the thing I don't understand. He said, how quick can you produce a list of the materials and the expenses and costs to produce this? But I wish he would have, like, in that hearing been like, you're going to need the actual like cost, not just
Extraction
like,
costs.
yeah, like the actual vendor, estimate from a vendor, like a legit estimate or
But
invoice.
then
Um,
also remember someone else, I think it was vague and ambiguous in the last stream we did about that. If you go back real quick, that for something else about the cost, remember she was saying it also, you can add in too, like, how long, like this is taking away from his job and he's going to have to like get his kids a babysitter. And like, if he's going to have to travel for it, or he's not going to have access to his phone, which he uses every day for social media, like things like that. I mean, I don't know how long an extraction takes, but I think
that's
like
why he decided that she was going to pay for everything, was based on those burdens of him having to take away from work or him having to, do all that. So he's like, someone else is going to do all the work for you, and then they're going to pay for it. Like,
Mhm.
they're gonna pay
And
for
that's
the
what we've seen
paralegal.
before is Lively's had to pay for like case and cost lows, extractions, and because they can get really expensive.
Yeah, I saw they charge 200 to 400 an hour.
Oh my God.
And then, yeah, sometimes even more depending on like the volume, like if it's like an iCloud or whatever. And it's funny because Meryl was arguing, like, you don't need to know like all the details to get like an estimate. Can he just tell me like if it's going to be like phones or a laptop or an iCloud? She's like, because usually the way we get estimates is we'll be like, it's a Gmail account, an iCloud account, and 2 cell phones. And then we'll get an estimate that way. And so that way I can get an estimate from our guy. And the judge was like, no, we're not giving you any information on anything. Like, he's got his job. So this is why a privilege log protects Perez, in your opinion. It says it forces Lively side to argue category by category, not for a fishing expedition. Once the log is in, Bulware can apply the shown balance test to each category. That narrows Lively subpoena dramatically. And that's what he was saying. He's like, how can I make a decision on whether it's privileged or not if I don't know what's in it that makes it privileged? So he's like, I'd have to look at it. So that's the thing that I found weird as far as like law and like, judges and stuff. It's like, I get what he means. It's like the chicken before the egg or whatever. It's like, I can't make a decision whether or not it's privileged without having the details of the information. And then I can say, yes, this is privileged, and no, you can't see it. Because she was saying, even if it's privileged, can we still look at it and just like, it'll be redacted? And he was like, no, you can't look at it at all. So Bulware may even agree with Perez's privilege claims, but he still needs a privilege log to procedurally justify quashing or limited the subpoena. And that's exactly what Perez said when he exited, is that he's really by the book. And so he wants to be by the book. And this is the procedural thing to do. This is.
Oh, wow. Okay. These were all my opinions, and based on my research. So that's why I'm glad that you can say like whether or not like this is on the right track. But because I still felt like the judge was on his side. I felt like he was just trying to, go by the book, but also help Perez as much as possible. And people keep saying, okay, 3 estimates. Yes, 3 estimates on Monday. And then also on Monday, though, Wayfarer has to turn over all that discovery from the motion to compel. So what if something from there, shows whatever conversation someone had with Perez? Then I feel like that could be used here to say they can get it from them. Like, get me out of this.
Mm-hmm. Let me see if this will play. This is Perez outside the courtroom where he talks about, I don't know if you guys can hear the audio. So let me just, sorry, there's a commercial before it. Can you all hear that?
No, but
You can't hear it?
no, but see if there's something like on the thing that has a little sound. No.
No.
Is there something on when it says share screen? There's something where on the top tab, like it could say like share audio also. Do you see that on yours?
Hold on, let me see. No, I don't see it. It just says stop. Oh, sharing this. No, it just says view or stop sharing. Let me stop sharing and then go back into it and see if that works.
Yeah, because I saw where like sometimes there's a toggle where you can say like also share sound. This was a good question. Wait, I'm going to go back. Missy, they're ignoring their own discovery. So why are they going hard? Retaliation? I think so. That brief they hammer on Perez made hundreds of videos. Sorry, I'm so tired. Okay, that brief they hammer. Do you want to pull it up, the Missy's thing? Oh, perfect. That brief they hammer on Perez made hundreds of videos basically smearing bullying Blake or maybe trying to pin it on him. Oh, yeah, because they're saying all of his videos. Yeah, it was a smear campaign. But again, like he was on her side initially. So it's a pretty bad smear campaign.
Okay, I don't know what's going on. Did I freeze up or something? I'm trying to hide the comment and it's not working.
Oh, it's hidden.
Okay. Yeah, it's for some reason my little clicker. Let's see if it plays real quick. Let me see if this plays.
What the judge is
Can you all hear it?
requesting as the first step.
Okay.
But not even the first step. There is a pre-step before the first step. The pre-step is the judge gave me until Monday to get quotes from 3 forensic experts and paralegals, and the judge will then assess the fairness of those estimates and force Blake Lively to pay for them if she wants this privilege log.
Hilton says while he's tired of the back and forth in this case, he vows to keep fighting to keep the legal process moving.
So that was News 3. Shout out to News 3's for being there. Hold on, let me go back to here.
Kristyna says, I love this jacket so much. I know, I agree. I mean, CJ and Perez, you guys knocked it out of the park. Like your style
I come with the fashion. I was like, and if you guys I'll go over it at the end when I plug my playlist, but there's the after party. We went to Petite Bohème. It's a cute little hole in the wall. I say hole in the wall because it's like there's like a little alley, like blink and you miss it. It's not like facing to the street. There's like a little like walkway to go up to it. There's graffiti art. It's really beautiful.
That's like how they used to have like those clubs in New York, like the best.
Yeah, like a little niche, like if you know, like one of those hot spots. And that's what
like you go through a taco shop and it's like in the closet.
Yeah. I really love the place. I met the owner. He was really, really nice. They provided sandwiches for us. And we got to get some really cool drinks. They were so fast for as many people as were there. Those bartenders were so quick. Like I thought I was gonna have to wait a long time because there were so many people there, but they were really quick. They were really nice. They took Apple Pay, which I was like, cool, because a lot of places don't take Apple Pay. So it was like tap, tap, and it was done. But yeah, so we did lots of court fashion there. That's where I got most of the highlights because people came with the court fashion this time. Last time, there was only a couple people that were like dressed up, but this time people came. They knew I was going to be there doing the court fashion maybe. But yeah, they came, lots of headbands, and there was a boa, there was flowers on the head, there was a little plastic flower on the headband. It was cool. So if y'all
I need to see that. That's is that on your YouTube?
Yeah, I'll pull it up when we do the playlist. And so this is the screenshot that you got for the latest motion. So let's get into what's next. This is the latest motion. It says non-party Mario Armando Lavandera's motion for clarification. He says on September 2nd, 2025, the court held a hearing regarding the SDNY subpoena. They declined to apply Nevada's absolute shield statute and indicated that the federal qualified reporter's privilege would govern Mr. Lavandera's Lavandera maintains all objections. At the court's invitation, Mr. Lavandera submitted a preliminary good faith privilege log ex parte and in camera. The court indicated the log should be much more detailed, including names and contact information, and that it would be filed under seal and initially for the court's eyes only. But see, the thing is, the extraction guy would be privy to that, and so would the paralegal who helped, put it together. It says the requested relief that he's requesting, and I link the full document because it's about 6 pages long. But he goes into some case law argument there too, and he proposes these stages that he feels that would be more safeguarding the information, like a coded log with no names, content sampling with identities masked, and then stage 3, identities only if legally necessary after the finding. So he kind of goes into that. If you guys are legal nerds like me, the entire filing is down there. And he also has it on his YouTube channel where he reads it, which is also very fun. I know I liked my documents read by Lauren for the Baldoni versus Lively. I'm like, I don't even want to read them.
I know, me too.
So if you like more reading, Perez has it on his. If you just want to scope it out yourself, it's linked below. But this is what he's asking for. He wants clarification that he may submit a coded privilege log without disclosing the source's names or contact information. Adopts the staged protocol outlined above, which we just talked about.
Okay, but I have a question, and it's the same as Rose Wild, where she said, "Oh, not that one; it's the one before." Even if he wants a coded privilege log, the extraction is still going to show the real info, even though it's only going to show it to like Perez and the judge. I mean, I guess maybe they can, afterwards, like redact it or seal it or code. I mean, I this judge, I do not think is going to like actually have Perez reveal any sources, to be honest.
Wait, where was she speaking at? I'm not a bot. Blake's fashion at today's speaking engagement. Is she out and about? She had her red bottom shoes. I dislike her so much. I don't even think she looked good. I'm gonna have to look into it real quick before we leave because that's interesting.
DM, are you on X? You can DM us the link.
Yeah, if you can. So okay, so let's get into
Does that make sense? Like, I mean, because if the extraction log, it's going to come out however it comes out. You can't have it coded, code names, and afterwards you can seal it or use the code
maybe
names.
he only wants to give code names to the judge, maybe.
Yeah, I think because the extraction will only go to the judge and him, and then after that, I'm sure I do not believe that this judge is going to let any of his sources be revealed, to be honest.
And so the third thing he wants is a written explanation of the court's legal basis for declining to apply Nevada's absolute shield law, including the authorities that he relied upon. Well, he does say that he relied on the briefings. He did say that. Like, I looked at the briefings and it's already been decided. There's not going to be an argument about that. So that was the only one thing he did shut Perez down. But I love whenever he did shut Perez down. And I don't want to say shut down, but whenever he did, like, say something to Perez, he always said, like, I respect your argument, but we've already established that, but go ahead and continue. Like, he was so, so nice to Perez. And again, in this hearing said that he respected his arguments and stuff. So I thought
what was your quote that you said? He's like, I respect and like
appreciate. It was an A word.
Something. Yeah, I respect and appreciate your arguments. And he, like you said, he gave Perez his flowers.
And he was in his Elwoods there. And like, I love the confidence he had, because I remember when it first started, like, he was drinking his smart water and kind of like, leaning back in the chair. Like, I didn't feel like nervous energy. He might have been like super, super nervous, but I felt like chill, relax. And then you look over there and Meryl's just like going through this giant binder. God knows what was in it, but it was this binder, flipping pages, tapping on her computer. Like, she was prepping. And then homeboy, the Nevada lawyer, was just like
twiddling his thumbs.
Yeah, he was playing with his thumbs. And then he was like, it was so weird because he was looking directly at the judge's chair. He wasn't in it yet. And he was just staring like right at the judge's chair. I was kind of just like looking around, and I did look at the judge's chair for a little bit, but he was like locked in on the judge's, like just staring straight ahead. It was crazy.
Thinking of anywhere else he'd rather be right now. And then that's why I like all these slides. See how there's like flowers? I put flowers on them because I want to give you your flowers for all of this.
Thank you.
Again, I will keep saying it. I'm so impressed by everything you did and got all this information. So,
and it was hard work, because a lot of people are like, I appreciate you, and I was like, I love that people are acknowledging it, because it's not the same as just pulling up articles and putting tabs and stuff. It was hard work, having to make arrangements to get to the courthouse, and then equipment arrangements, and then, making sure that I was live on time, and then,
making sure you showed your face for the first time. That's like a whole other thing.
That was the whole thing. And then after, like, I got recognized by people that didn't know I was doing this too, because I'm just doing it. And then now people in my real life know that I'm doing this, and it's like, is it cringe, or like, like, it's a different vibe. Like, not that I'm saying that I never thought they'd like see me or nothing, but the internet's so big, I never like worried about like people in my real life knowing I was doing it. So now I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to do it live. Is this going to be cringe? Is somebody that I know watching me or whatever? And so after that first day, I was like super like bubble guts, like, like when your stomach is just like, oh, like, why did I do that type of thing? But I had so much support from Colonel. Shout out to Colonel Kurtz. A lot of people were DMing me, obviously you, just, you know, a lot of the content creators were like, you did a great job. I'm so proud of you and stuff. And so
I
that
was your
helped
first
me to
super
the,
chat, but
yeah,
then your
you were that day.
but
And that's
then the live you made for it, like you made the live. I did your super chat, and then you closed the live.
well,
And then
because it something happened, it glitched and X'd out, and then I was like, okay, what just happened? I was still learning how to go live from the phone. So, but yeah, I remember that morning when I woke up, I was monetized. I was like, whoa, that's crazy that it would happen when I came out here.
because it was meant to be, and then the
Well,
second
thank
hearing
you.
was scheduled. Yeah, exactly. And then the second hearing was scheduled for like the day you were leaving, so it worked out perfect. You were able to attend both. I mean, the
Mhm.
odds of that, the whole thing was meant to be, and I'm so
Yeah, it was like
so proud
almost
of
God led. It was crazy. Okay, so the number 4, okay, he wanted the legal explanation as to why he chose that, and a written explanation as to why he wants the source names and the contact information as part of the privilege log disclosed. And I think that's kind of like what me and DFJ went over a little bit in that last slide, which gives kind of a reason why he wants to look at it,
Yeah.
so he can determine it procedurally. Um, it says stays or holds in abeyance any further obligations regarding forensic extraction, paralegal review, or expanded privilege log submissions until this motion is resolved. So he's like, can you just clarify for me exactly why all of this is going on? Because it was just kind of said and there was like no legal backing or explanation.
Well, it kind of is the protocol though for this, like for the subpoena and for the discovery. What is it? The rule like 45 or whatever. I think this is actually the process. So I think that's what the judge will respond to him. But even Missy said right here at like 7:51, stage review and only names if Lively somehow clears the shown test.
Hold on.
So
51. Let me find it.
51.
Okay. It's Missy.
Yeah. So this is it's a staged review. So, and then they will only, so just for him, and the judge, and then the only names will be revealed if like Lively somehow clears, remember that 3-prong test. And that's, exactly it. And I think that, I don't think they're going to clear. I think that they're forcing, Lively also to show like a real need for all this by making Perez like quantify the burden, and by requiring Lively to brief why she can't get it anywhere else. I think, because like it still seems like a fishing expedition, and I think that is why the judge maybe has like kind of a low tolerance for Meryl, because she's smart enough to know what she's doing. It's obvious to anyone.
And this is one of the slides you like questions, because I'm confused because there was all these dates that were being thrown out. This is where when I was doing the notes, I was talking about in the interrogatory, they said that we need the names of reporters that you talked from June 11th, 2024 and on.
Which
and
I have that slide.
And then the other date would then be February 2025. And then there was all these other different dates, because then they also asked him, Perez personally, from May 2024 in the RFPs.
And all of those don't make sense to me, because again, it showed that like this was her opposition to the motion.
Yeah, her brief starts in August 2024.
Oh yeah, this was
so that's another date, August 2024.
No, this was the opposition to the motion to quash. I think I did the wrong one, but still, they're arguing. Yeah, they're saying August 2024, but like Perez has already given all this stuff to the court that shows like they were talking they were talking bad about me in August 2024. So obviously they weren't using me for a smear campaign.
And then his RFP, let's just go back to the slide real quick, just to show y'all right here in this first one. If y'all can see, let me see, I can zoom in. Here it says that they want his information from May. So it's like, that's the crazy part, that there's all these dates floating around and they can't make up their mind as to which.
The next one. Yeah, see here. This was from Blake Lively's discovery, and it says that they TAG did not even know how to get a hold of Perez in January of this year. That's why I'm so confused, from that transcript of what you were going over in the court is like, yeah, the I can never say that right. Interrogatories were like all from 2024. And then TAG is here saying like, how do we get to Perez? And that's from this year, January of this year. So why it just shows like they aren't working with him, or they would have already, gone to him. And then this was interesting. I was so glad you picked up on this too, CJ. I'm like very impressed that you were clocking all of this, because he's
standing
mentioned
on
it
business.
too.
We're
Yeah.
clocking it. You know, Justin Bieber. Standing on business.
Yes, you are. It was the oh my God. Interrogatories for he's mentioned twice. He's mentioned in the number
Content
5.
creators.
And well, they say content creators. Yeah. So up here on in the blue section is how they describe it. Identify all content creators, right? And then
Mhm.
go to the next slide. And he's mentioned in that one. Sorry, if you go down, you can see he's mentioned there with
Mhm.
Billy Bush, who was never subpoenaed, you know. And then if you go to the next one, he's also mentioned in number 6, see in the blue up there, but this time it is as a reporter, news, or media outlet. So it's like, if they want to use this is just my opinion. If Lively and Merrill in this Nevada case want to use this interrogatory to say they need discovery from this date, then they need to acknowledge that he's a reporter, because that's what this interrogatory says. Go back to the top again, the blue part on the top. See, it says identify all reporters and news or media outlets. So if they're going to use this, in my opinion, to say why, as an excuse for why they need access to his, you know, whatever, at this date, this is from June 15th, 2020. I mean, that's
a whole other day. That's what I'm saying. It's like
before August even.
Mm-hmm.
It
So
just makes no sense.
his RFP says May. The interrogatory for tag says June. The brief or the the response or whatever says August 2024 is when the smear campaign started. The deadline or the goalpost now is February 25th. So it's like pick a date. Like, stay in your lane, pick a date and stay with it, and don't quit trying to change it. So that's the latest as far as wrapping everything up. If you guys want to update on the hearings, let me pull this up real quick.
Oh, this is so cute. It says, so many amazing, beautiful flowers. DFJ, thank you. That's what he was asking for. Oh, these ladies do amazing work. Thanks, Kristyna. That's so kind. You're getting all these flowers, CJ. You're totally missing them.
Okay, where am I at? The timestamp.
We're both so sleep deprived.
Well, I'm like, when I'm reading off the slides, I'm on the slide page, but I should just read it off of here. But CJ's fire, thank you so much. Beautiful flowers. Yeah, they were really cute. I love the slides, and I appreciate it anytime she comes with the slides, because it's really hard to put together these shows sometimes with all the information. And she has that's why I told her, I was like, you need to start your own channel. Your slides are really good. So let's see what else. They have nothing. They're grasping for straws. Yes, Jane. I'm not a bot. I have to say that TAG needs to rethink their texting practices. They said originally something Justin wanted in writing. And yet, yes, we were talking about that today on Ashley's show. If y'all haven't checked out the show that I did with Ashley this morning on her channel, it was on Rebel Wilson and how Melissa Nathan is now part of the Rebel Wilson versus Amanda Ghost trial or case. Which is really interesting. So if you guys haven't checked that out, go check that out, because that's a whole other Roman Empire right now, that whole case. And I know DFJ is like, I told you to report on this, because
I did.
Variety came with, she gave that to me August 14th and said, here, you should report on this. I know you're working on Rebel, but I need to get my butt off and quit doing these side quests, because I promised y'all Rebel. I told Ashley today, my poor followers, I promised y'all Rebel. I've got 8 episodes out of the 10 for the vertical series. So I just need to finish up those 2 episodes. They're going to be 1 minute long, and in total, it's going to be about 10 minutes. And it'll catch you up on everything with the case. And then once I drop those, hopefully by this weekend, we can, because, now that Ashley has brought it up again and it's back in like the news, that might, kick me into gear to get them out. But then we could do a deep docket dive one night to go over it all once, because it's really, really messy right now. Ashley's in the process of untangling it. So I kind of went on her channel today to help out with that. And it was really cool to have someone else to bounce ideas off of, especially her, because she's coming at it from a PR angle. So that's kind of like a cool little side quest. But so this is the playlist. I put myself over here in my little pink outfit and hat. I felt like such mafia style when I was doing this. Let me see if I can zoom into it. When I put on the hat in this picture in the face, I was like mafia style.
Yeah.
So it's called Another Simple Court Fashion. That's the first video. It's just when I got there, I kind of showed the fit real quick for like a minute. And then we have another simple court hearing, part 1. This was a sign that was made by Liz, which is so funny because she accidentally left it there. And I picked it up. It had like dirt on it and stuff. And I picked it up and took it to the after party. And she was so grateful for it. I actually had those flowers in the back inside my purse to like decorate my purse. It was really cute. But yeah, shout out to Liz. She's about to start her own YouTube channel and start reporting too, which I don't know. I still can't believe that there was so many people inspired to be citizen journalists. And like I said, she was on Kirsty Flaw, so go check her out. So that's part 1 of the hearing.
And Velo came out too, you know, because of you.
Yeah, and Velo as well. And then this is part 2 with the interview. We have the Perez hearing after party. We have the notes from the court, part 1 and 2. And then this was me and DFJ's video right before the second hearing, where we, you know, deep dived into like what was next and what did the judge actually ask for and all that stuff. And then we also have the notes.
Oh, that's part 1. We should put the part 2 in there too.
Yeah, this is from the first hearing, and then this is me live on site on the first hearing, part 1 and 2. And this is when I decided to fly out there. And this is my very first, my gateway to Subpoena Serena was 1 month ago. This is my very first Perez episode. So I hold this one truly dearly in my heart.
I love it.
Whole playlist. You can start at the bottom with Subpoena Serena and just go through it all.
CJ, I think we need to add the other one. Go down. I think we should add because see this one. Remember we split and I'll go back up. We split
the one on your channel for this one.
Because otherwise that's only part 1.
I need to add the other one. Okay, I'll do that one. I totally forgot that we split it.
So I love this. This is awesome.
This is the
when my team pitched the idea, I thought it was impossible.
And I know
that sears like stainless, lasts like cast.
I have premium, just not on this channel.
It gives you commercials on your own channel.
Yeah, and I have premium on my personal account, just not on the CJ account, but I need to get premium on this one. But there's me and Perez at the after party, which was really, really cool experience to get to hang with him. Here's some of the court fashion. Look at that. Look at that headdress. That's so
wow.
Cool. Another headdress here. And then I love this one. Look, it's like a little plastic flower headband. Can y'all see that up there?
Yeah.
So that was really cool. And I just went around and said, like, you know, what are y'all thinking? Here's Liz, who is the civil rights attorney from San Diego, who's starting her channel. We also had her and her boyfriend, who are, I don't know if it was boyfriend or just colleague. Sorry, I don't know if they were going out or not. But they were from Vegas Navigator, which I follow now too. So shout out to them for being there. We had matching little pink vests.
Aww.
So there was like the little fashion there. And where's David at? He was gassing me up. Where is David? Because I was like, I'm gonna have you do the intro to my show. Let me play. Oh, here he is. Like this part.
David, hey, you guys are you are live with CJ, the one and only. This is big, ladies and gentlemen.
This is big.
Support your girl.
Yep.
Give her all the credits. Like this post.
Subscribe
and follow, because she's got more things to come.
Yep.
You're in for a treat.
I'm gonna
CJ,
have him record that
you.
for the intro of my show.
We love you, CJ. Keep it up. Keep the hard work going. Thank you.
So that was really cool. I told them I was gonna crop it and post it to the intro.
I like this, what Missy said. She said, judges in the Ninth Circuit have accepted coded privilege logs before. It's appellate proofing. By adopting Perez's stage protocol, the judge avoids immediate risk of reversal on appeal. And that's what I'm saying also. Exactly. Like, I think this judge is literally just going like step by step by the book to just make it like bulletproof, basically. It is a high profile case. And also to protect Perez, in my opinion, and make sure, I mean, like, it's not just like he has to turn it over. It's like, you give it to me, I'm going to look at it and we can go from there, you know? And that's why like Meryl was throwing a fit being like, well, we want to see it too. Can't you just redact something and we still get to see it? And it's like, he's like, no, lady, sit down. Or like as CJ said, Meryl, sit down.
Yeah. Yeah, David was so sweet. I love that. And most of the people I interviewed were like, oh my gosh, you're so great. So that was really cool that I got to like, you know, hang out with fans of mine and stuff too. So we're going to be wrapping up with how we can support Perez. He did have, and you know, a little Easter egg at the end.
Wait, can I do one comment before?
Yes.
This from Kinney. She said, maybe these PR reps should be careful about the way they talk about clients via messages. I bet they will now. Yeah, I bet they will.
Which one is that? I can't
Oh,
see.
sorry, Kenny.
Right here, Kenny.
Yeah. I
Let's
thought
have
they will now because seriously, like Melissa Nathan,
And
well,
now she's wrapped up in this rebel stuff because of something she said that Camille clocked. We think she saw it on Reddit because they posted it to Reddit. I didn't put it out there because I was still sleuthing. They're talking about these articles on Rebel and this Mattel trial with Friedman, and I was just gonna package it all up. And so I kind of sat on it, but Variety got the scoop. Obviously, Camille found it probably on Reddit. I'm thinking because they do like check all this stuff, and so she clocked it. And now Melissa Nathan is in another lawsuit, which sucks for her, but you know,
the Rebel suing Melissa Nathan.
No, Amanda Ghost is suing Melissa Nathan, saying that she helped Rebel smear Amanda allegedly. So this is how you guys can support Perez. This is his X channel. It's at Perez Hilton. If you guys do X, you can go follow him there. And this is his YouTube channel, which I love his shorts. These are all his shorts right here. His surprise the other day was that he's dropping some merch. So you guys can go support his merch, which is so cool. I'm going to pull it up here. Grab your friends, wear your florals. So this is his new merch line. He's got cups and stickers and all kinds of different colored shirts, sweatshirts. And I love, look, it's got the flowers. So let's help him out, give him his flowers. And if you wanted to help him that way, he's also making some cameos, as you can see over here. He's introducing his cameo.com/Perez Hilton. So these are just ways you can support him as he's going through this. He's always been fun for me to watch. I mostly was old school and read his blog. Like, you know, instead of going like TMZ or Daily Mail, I would just like in the mornings or whatever, just go to like his blog and just read it. But I've been getting more into his YouTubes now that I'm more on YouTube, which are super hilarious and funny. And he covers pop culture topics every day at 7:15 p.m. Eastern. And if you guys watch his videos, all of that, it helps him a ton. So
CJ, on Monday, because he said that he has a big surprise. Earthkeeper said, "What will be Prez's big surprise on Monday?" He said that's going to be on his YouTube?
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and play what he said exactly. So I basically asked him, do you have the vendor list together? And this is what he said. So this is the last live that he's posted.
Yes, CJ, I got that. And I have all I will say is this. I've got a surprise for Monday. I got a big Blake Lively surprise for Monday. So I'm not going to tell you what it is. But it's good. Oh, it's good. Yeah! Oh, yes. You guys. This is going to possibly be a game changer.
Oh my God.
There's no guessing. Oh, thank you, Tweety Bird. All right, y'all. Have a wonderful weekend. I love you. Talk soon. Bye.
Okay, what do we think it is?
That's the this video is really great. It's called Gay Scandal and More Hot Topics. He goes through so many cool topics. Charlie Sheen. He talks about Sabrina Carpenter's new album. I don't know. I really love this. It was only 30 minutes long, and I was cooking while watching this, and it was really, really fun.
Ooh, I'm gonna watch that one too. And Kenny said, "Ooh,
live chat as well." So
he's like, "Ooh, he def has piqued my interest." Me too. What do you think it is, CJ?
Game changer. He said no guessing, so I was like, I ain't gonna try and guess because he said no guessing, but I don't know. One of the things that popped into my head was, did they email him saying they're dropping the subpoena? I don't know, but he did still say that he was like, you know, nervous and barely coming up for air.
Well, so, maybe if Wayfarer turned their discovery in earlier, it's due on Monday. I mean, maybe what day was this video?
This was Friday.
Oh, I doubt they did it that early. Maybe, yeah, I don't think it was that. I think either like he has a lawyer or something. I don't know.
Okay, so that's another thing that has come up since then. He did make a video saying that that he was looking for a lawyer. Was it? These are his shorts. Wait, let me go.
So then it's not a lawyer if he made a video after. It was a video afterwards saying he's looking for a lawyer.
Oh, is this why is this on the lives, or are these my lives? Okay, hold on. Let me go to his channel because I was like, that's my live. Hold on, Perez Hilton. So
And
view channel.
I missed, because this week obviously I was offline. But beforehand I loved like making those repackaging the videos, making those like 1-minute clips to help get people excited about what he was talking about, and linking back, to his video, so that people were just spreading the word about what is going on with this. Because I mean, Melissa Nathan, honestly, I know she said not great things last August, so hopefully she's like said sorry since then, because I think Perez has done the most for this case. Like,
Yeah,
he's
and
done the best
especially
PR.
shine the light on subpoenagate, because the content creator stuff was not it was not really talked about in MSM. And when he was talking to the news stations and stuff, he talked about the other, 107 content creator subpoenas and how some of them have only 4 subscribers and things like that. So, and this, for me, this side quest is probably one of the most important, more than, oh, it's a smear campaign or an SH case. This is a, could set precedents for how journalists report, and not even just journalists, just anybody who wants to, report on things, and that anyone can come after them and their sources. So, yeah, I feel like this one's really important. But so this is the night before my big showdown. No, that wasn't it. It was
Ooh, I love this
the
comment.
one with the lawyer. Because this is
CJ,
5 days ago.
listen to this from Sunny Ahmed. It says, would love for you guys to read through any new evidence from Jones v. Abel that is not in Lively v. Wayfarer. Is there new? I mean, I lost a week, and it feels like you fall behind by 50 things in this case
Let
after.
them know the surprise was new merch. It's where you're. No, this is after he dropped the merch surprise one. So that wasn't. He's saying it's for Monday, and that was after I asked him for whether he had the vendor list, and he said yes, and I have some game-changing surprise. So could be that he got a lawyer.
Or it could be like maybe something else.
Mama Tia, it's 3 a.m. We'll have to go back to the beginning. Thank you so much. And yes, thanks for all the love towards DFJ.
Yeah, thank you.
She needs all the support and prayers right now, as she's going to have family coming in. Right before we wrap up, somebody requested that I bring up the Blake Lively glossy pop. Is this
Okay, wait, can we do one more before that? Can you go back to that comment though, Sunny Ahmed? I like that one. Do you see the one from Sunny Ahmed? It was right above Cormina's.
You guys read it? That one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any new evidence from Jones and Abel? I don't know. I don't follow that case closely. My Jones and Abel go-to is you, and who else do I go to for Jones?
Okay, Sunny, I'm gonna look through that. I didn't know if anything new had dropped or whatever, but I just said that they would like for us to go through that. I know I love going through cases with CJ. Like, it's so much fun. We both have like different views, kind of. So it just like, it's great.
Yeah.
I feel like we learn so much.
Like with this, I was kind of like on Perez's side, like, what the heck is the judge talking about? Like, why? Like, give us explanations, because I like to know like the exact reasons. Like, I'm like the little kid that's asking the mom, but why? But why, Judge Boulware? Whereas you're like, okay, this is common privilege stuff and all this, but I love the breakdown on the whys, because it did kind of help answer it. And so we'll see what the judge replies. Let me pull that pic up from a Glossy Pop. So let's see.
Oh, so this is the article that they were talking about?
Oh, let me check my X. Did they message it to me? No. What were they going to message me on X?
Oh, she did a speaking event or something.
Yeah, I think it's this one right here.
Okay, cool.
So this is her outfit. She's trying to go with the brooch approach. I don't even know what that is. An eagle, or what the heck is this? 2 axis? Yeah, it looks like 2 axes or something.
No, it looks like with those things you shake, those cucarachas or whatever.
Maracas.
Maracas.
So this is, and so she wore these boots, those are the red bottoms.
Oh, wow.
Not her worst outfit, but yeah, it's not like great either, because what's up going on with all these bracelets and stuff, and then I don't know about the colors, and the chunky boot with the brown, it doesn't go. This is more like, I don't know, it looks gothic, or maybe with like a short skirt or something. But let's see another view, and it looks like it's like see-through or something, huh?
Mm-hmm.
With the bag. I mean, it's not her worst outfit. Her hair actually looks okay there. But yeah, the shoes seem out of place a little bit. Just
Well, I think she has like a thing with the shoes being out of place, like the fact that she had like the, what was it, Lily Bloom wearing red bottom heels at working a flower mart or something. I was like, what planet do you live on?
I mean, I'm okay with the little chocolate brown outfit. I don't really care for the top or the boots. So I don't know. Y'all sound off in the comments whether y'all think she pulled anything off here. At least her hair wasn't all crazy. Maybe, they told her like stop getting crazy with the hair. And pulled it to the side. So she was at this Glossy Pop event that she talked at that was sold out, where she's saying, oh, she has damages, yet she sold out an event. So that's going to come up probably in trial. So
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, right? Because it's like, how's her reputation damaged if she's killing it,
It says, I think it'll take paralegals' help at the least and e-traction to create the log. Yes.
Extraction, yeah.
Oh, an extraction. Okay. Her hair does look good. She was hot, but she was hawking her hair care. Carm says, yeah, and they believe Jones. Once they found out she fixed the text, they should have pulled suit, but they're seeing it through. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like we were talking about this today, that it's mostly like Jones and Abel's fault that all this is happening, and Melissa Nathan. Like they just.
I have a video on that if anyone's interested. Like a breakdown of how it.
Let's drop DFJ's channel if Kristyna can drop it so y'all can go support her. Let me pull it up here.
It starts with Jones, or I'm like, it might have it ends with us, but did it start with Jones? And because this all goes back to her, in my opinion. And it is crazy. So I'll definitely check out if anything else has come up on that docket, but it's crazy. Yeah, that one.
Channel, we were dual streaming. So this is the one that part 2 of it, decoding what went on in the court. Or no, it was this one right here, support press freedom.
No, you're right. I think it was the.
Yeah, we did part 2 on your channel.
Decoding was the part 2. Yeah.
So go and check out DFJ. It's Don't FCK. We'll link it in the comments. Kristyna will. And yeah, so let me know if you're part of replay crew in the comments. What y'all think. I need to get rid of all my
It's okay.
Let me know in the comments what you guys think Perez's surprises. Let me know what y'all thought of Blake's outfits in the comments.
And if the judge doesn't accept this motion on Monday, Perez still then has to turn in the. So we're going to get something on Monday, no matter what, for the Perez docket at least.
It says, we love you as team and individuals, talented and smart. Hang in there, DFJ. Sending you lots of love and support. Thank you, Missy.
Thank you.
Nat said this engagement will damage her claim that smear campaign hurt her. Yes, a lot of people are saying that this will. I know Ashley had posted something like, how is this damages? Perez looks good in that thumbnail. Yep. Thanks to his daddy, Uncle Chat, or I don't know. He calls him Daddy ChatGPT.
Oh yeah.
With this one, he does. He looks great.
Well, good. He could use a paralegal. I think that would be awesome. He deserves it. I think he's going to win. I think that honestly, I think the judge is on his side. And you said that the first time, the second hearing, you seemed like you didn't know. You felt like it didn't seem like you loved what was happening as much as you did the first hearing. But I do think the judge is on his side. That's just my opinion.
He says, I would keep doing it myself just on principle. Perez's surprise is a pro bono lawyer. That could be, because he did say game changer. A lawyer would definitely be a game changer. So y'all, it helps the algorithm if y'all drop a comment on your thoughts, ideas, anything like that. If you're replay crew, I appreciate it. Miles says, it's all good, CJ. I love public speaking and I use vocal fillers so much. Here's a tip. Invest in improv courses that will help tremendously.
Improv like comedy?
Improv comedy. Is
that what that is? Is improv, isn't that comedy or no?
It could just be any kind of improv. Like it makes me think of the Drew Carey show, but that was improv comedy. I keep saying, Verna also gave me the advice to start learning new words and then using one new word. And I believe I used it on one of my Taylor Swift Easter egg ones. And it was the word, now I forgot it. It was a word of, it was a French word, I believe, of like when you get chills, when music gives you chills. And I already forgot what the word was, but that was her advice to me, was learn a new word and try to use the word in your stream, and it'll go a long way. So I appreciate all the feedback, even when people are like, you say too much, which somebody did comment that. Somebody else said that tended to interrupt the interviewer sometimes. Like, I don't wait until they're all the way done.
Oh my God. I mean, yeah, there's definitely, there's
So
like,
I appreciate the feedback. It's always appreciated when it's constructive criticism.
I hope you focus on the positive.
The reason why I still don't have an intro song is because someone said the horns were too loud. I used to have the objection intro, and it was like this kind of a Law and Order, like, but like with horns. And someone's like, "Have you ever heard this intro on headphones? Like, it'll blow your ears out. Like, it's too loud." And then I tried to re-record it, and then it was too low. And then I was just like, "Okay, I'm done."
No, the News Nation clips always do that. Like they sound fine, and then at the end it goes really loud, and I'm just like, ah. But no, CJ, this is like about giving your flowers. I know that there's constructive criticism comments always. That just is a nature of the beast. But I hope you focus more on the positive comments. That's the best advice I could give you, because I've seen, up and coming content creators where they just like focus on the one or two negative comments, and it just like gets to them. So just focus, because I want you to accept your flowers. This was all about giving you your flowers.
I'm taking them, and I'm sharing them with y'all, because you guys are my supporters, and without y'all, I couldn't have gotten this far. I got monetized within, less than a month of streaming. So of actual streaming, because I've had my channel for a while, since June, but I wasn't like streaming or anything. It would be like a video every so often. I didn't take it seriously. It was like the Kim K, like, you got to get up and work. So once I started getting up to work, it took me about less than a month, about 3 weeks to get monetized. And I couldn't have done it without you guys, watching my content, liking my content, sharing my content. So we're going to give each of y'all flowers from that bouquet as well. And as always, appreciate you, DFJ.
We'll give our flowers to the mods. Kristyna, thank you for,
Kristyna,
for all
Laura,
your support.
for sure.
Yeah, Kristyna.
Laura's not here because she goes to bed early because we do morning shows. But tomorrow's Sunday, so I don't know where Laura's at tonight. Thank you, Kristyna. Tomorrow night, you guys, we are going to go through the Donna Adelson case, and it is called "Is Wendy Next?" Obviously, Donna Adelson has been found guilty. On Thursday, the verdict came in pretty quick, within 3 hours. So we're going to get into that tomorrow night. And then Monday's episode of Objection Celebrity Court Chatter, Monday morning, we're going to be doing smear campaigns. I believe was it Wrathful? I don't remember who, but somebody suggested, no, it was Mildly Mercurial, that I look into Pedro Pascal and a smear campaign going on with him. He also has a lawsuit that he is filing recently against an alcohol company. So we're going to look into that. And the episode's going to revolve around smear campaigns, the Rebel Wilson case, Pedro Pascal, and obviously update on anything Blake Lively. So it's going to be a fun Monday medley. I'll see you guys there. Until next time, you guys, take care. And we'll either see you on Crime Chatter or Celebrity Court Chatter. Have a great weekend. Thank you, DFJ. Appreciate it.